Hi everyone, welcome to our first video on Python programming. Alright, so I know you all are very excited, okay, because Python is of course the most one of the most popular languages right now, okay, and it is used extensively in many educational institutions as well as in many companies for a wide range of applications. Okay, so everybody is excited to learn Python, okay, so I hope you are excited as well. Okay, and in order for us to get started, okay, what you first need to do is you need to go to this website python.org/downloads. Okay, so this is the website over here, https okay www.python.org/downloads. Okay, once you go to this web page, okay, you will see a button here that says download the latest version for Windows. Okay, at this point of time the current version is 3.8.2. Okay, so if you are having an older version, do upgrade it, okay, so that you will get all the getting all the latest features that Python has to offer. Okay, if you are of course viewing this video a bit later, then you may have a newer version of Python, which is good. All right, so let's click on this button, download Python. Okay, once you click on that, it will start to download the executable. Once that is done, just click on it, okay, and you will see installation window pop up. Okay, and of course if you do not want to make any particular customization, you can click on the first option which says install now. Okay, so let's click on this option here, and now we are beginning to install. Okay, let's give it some time. Okay, generally it takes just a few seconds, or sometimes maybe a few minutes. Okay, so let's just wait for it to install. Okay, so while it's installing, okay, so let me just tell you a bit about Python. Python is what we call a interpreted language. Okay, those of you who have some background in programming, let's say C programming, for example, you know that you need to sort of write the code, compile it first. Only when you can compile successfully, you can execute it. Okay, whereas Python is a bit different. We call it a interpreted code. Okay, and with that, basically what it means is that you can actually what happens is the code that you write is interpreted, okay, progressively as it is going through the code, and then you see some output. Okay, so you see that in a while, you know what I'm talking about. So you do not need to have a complete working program to execute Python code. You can actually do it just line by line and actually see what is happening. Okay, and of course you have a lot of flexibility in Python, and you are able to do a lot of things very easily, okay, in Python, as compared to other languages. Okay, which is of course one of the reasons why it has become so popular for many individuals to take up Python as a first programming language. Okay, so let the installation complete here. All right, once Python has been installed, all you need to do is to click on your search button over here for Windows, and just key in py. Okay, once you key in py, it will automatically come as the first match to run command py. So this will actually launch the Python sort of a shell. Okay, so let's click on that, and what you see is this. So you can see that Python, okay, can actually be very intuitively learned just by a very simple platform, okay, where you don't need any fanciful GUI or development environment. A very simple scripting kind of a shell is enough for you to learn Python. Okay, so let's play around with some basics of Python. Now, as you can see, the prompt here has three arrows. Okay, this is where basically you write in your Python commands, and as you write commands, it will sort of interpret and execute it for you. Okay, so that's why it's called a interpreted language, because you don't need to write a complete source code and then execute it. Okay, so for example, I can just key in a number. Okay, so I can just say 2. Okay, so it will say you give me back as that you have entered a value 2, and that 2 is a number. Okay, so I can say 3. Okay, of course this seems like doesn't seem that useful, correct? So another common thing in computing or in programming is you will normally want your data to be stored in what we call variables. Okay, variables in programming context, basically think of them as boxes, and within the box you can hold some information. Okay, and you can use any name you like, okay, for these boxes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable called x, and I'm going to give it a value 2. So I'm going to type x equals to 2. So when I key in enter, okay, what happens here is that x is a box, okay, and I put a value of 2 inside x. So if I just key in x now, you will see that it gives me back 2. Okay, now I can also do say another same thing for another variable y. Okay, y equals to 3, and when I type in y, it gives me back a value of 3. Okay, and now you have two variables x and y. Okay, and what can you do? Okay, you can do some basic arithmetic. Okay, so I can say x plus y. Okay, give me 5. Okay, so what has this last line done for us? Python has taken the value in x and the value in y added it together and given us a result of 5. If I wanted this result to be stored in another variable, I can also do that. I can create another variable called z equals to x plus y. Okay, when I enter that, so now if I key in z, you see that the value of x plus the result of x plus y, which is 5, has been stored in the variable z. Okay, so this is as you can see, it's a very intuitive platform for you to learn coding and coding related concepts very easily. Okay, of course, right now you can see that actually 2, 3, 5, all these are actually holding all these are what we call numerical values. Python can also deal with characters or strings. Okay, so for example, if I want a variable a to hold characters and strings, I can use double quotes to do it. So for example, I can say a equals to 1. Okay, and if I type a again, you see that a comes in quotes. Okay, and this tells us that in this value 1 is not a numerical one, but it's a character one. Okay, that means we are now dealing with a as a character, and of course we can expand it to hold multiple characters as well. Okay, so for example, I can say a equals to 1 2. Okay, and now a will be having character 1 and 2 together. Okay, now I can also concatenate characters together. So for example, I can say b is equals to 3 4. Okay, so you have a and b, and if I say c equals to a plus b, you'll see that c is equals to now 1 2 3 4. Okay, and I can of course add individual characters, okay, in front or behind a current character. So for example, I can also say that c equals to 1 plus c. Okay, so what will happen now? The original value of c is 1 2 3 4, and I'm going to put another 1 in front of it. Okay, so now c will be 1 1 2 3 4. Okay, so you can see that Python is very flexible. Okay, it can deal with a lot of different types of uh, data types. Okay, integers, numbers, characters, and strings, and so on. Okay, and so of course do play around and try it out, and of course occasionally these are all the right examples. You can also for example, while trying out Python, you may come across some error messages. So for example, if I try to do c equals to c plus 1, in this case you will say it's an error. Okay, why? Because c is currently a string. Okay, and 1 in this case, just typing 1 without a double quotes means it is interpreted as a number, a numerical value. So a number cannot be directly concatenated with a string. Okay, so whenever you see things this kind of error messages, so you know that you have tried to do something that is not allowed in Python. Okay, so if I wanted to add 1 as a character, then I need to make sure I do it this way, c plus 1 here, then c will look like this. Okay, so please do try out these numerical examples as well as strings and characters, just to get a feel for how Python behaves. Okay, and in our next video we're going to be exploring more and more interesting things about Python that will make you really very comfortable and very professional in the way you are going to write future Python based programs. All right, thank you, see you in the next video.